Hey everybody, this is Chad bringing in our Instagram friends as always. Got to do that little extra click for them. Hope everybody's doing good and had a good weekend. If you're into sports, hope your teams did well. My Bears play tonight. We'll see how they do with that. Uh, Florida Gators, another loss this season. It's not going to be a pretty season. But we got another week ahead of us and got a quick update here on some of the things that are going on in the world of a veteran communication coach. Some of the updates, some of the content, and a big promotion and that's going on this week. One thing we want to start doing is we're starting a rolling uh, live session about desired outcomes and creating those because it's such a critical part of putting your communication strategy together of figuring out what you're saying, how you're saying it, when you're saying it, absolutely everything. And of course, that is going to, spill over into your execution, your action. And it is so critical to have done. And so many times when I go into work with a client and there are issues with focus, with action, with continuity, um, with execution, with messaging, with collaboration, so many times it goes back into there not being this desired outcome statement, this statement that has been written, accepted, shared, and embraced across a team or with an individual, depending on your situation. So, because it's so important, this is something that's going to be scheduled for every Wednesday, and that's going to be at 2 p.m. Central Time in the United States. There's going to be an hour, a live session, and that's dedicated to working on desired outcomes. And also, other topics can be discussed, but desired outcomes are going to have the priority in that session. So that's going to be on the school site calendar. So you can see the information there to join for that to participate. We're also going to be having another live session that will also be on Tuesdays, also at 2 o'clock. That scheduling, the Tuesday one's a little up. That one may move around a little bit, but we're really trying to get the interaction up, especially in the stuff that's so important for everybody to do. So if you're looking to, sharpen what are you actually doing, why are you doing it, and being able to have that reference to speed up your decision making, your actions, being able to share it effectively with other people. That by itself is worth the price of admission to veteran communication coach. To go through that workshop, to go through, this process that does nothing but set you up for success in the future. And that's really what all the stuff, all the work, all the strategy, all the concepts, practices, everything that we do in veteran communication coach is to set the foundation for you to be successful in your civilian career moving forward. And the bedrock of that is the desired outcome statement. People typically don't want to learn different communication strategies just to learn them, but there are significant reasons why it's beneficial. One way to look at this is also the difference between perception and perspective. And perception, a lot of times, is how we see stuff, what we think. When I ask someone, "Are you good at communication?" and almost everybody says yes, and less than 50% of people are. Versus perspective is how things are viewed from outside of you. How does someone view how you're doing something? What's the perspective that they have of the situation? And sometimes they're in alignment. Quite often they are not. And this is where communication really comes into play. Not just how you think you see the world or how you present, but also understanding how the world around you interacts with you and how it views your performance in relation to other people's and in different kind of situations and scenarios that you need to be able to communicate in. So this is one of the differences to really think about when you're considering uh, getting additional communication work like we do at veteran communication.coach. We're going to talk about some current events. We're talking about some stuff with the federal furloughs. I'm going to be touching on that. There's also been an interesting behavior in the economy right now related to AI, workforce, and performance. We're going to talk some about that in Veteran Communication Coach. Also, what do you do when you encounter people that you can't trust? We're going to have some perspective and analysis of those kind of situations. Um, so that's some of the things we're going to be covering, in addition to further discussion about things that you can do to make your communications count. Because it's much more than just getting out there and speaking and doing something. Communication is so broad; it includes so many different facets of how you interact, how you present with people. And we talked about earlier about the different kinds of communication sponsors that you can have. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into the 8 questions that you can use when you're working with your communication sponsor, and we want to build on from that. And that is going to be the session that we do later this week. You can check the calendar and veteраncommunication.coach for that information. We're also staging all these different courses through the rest of the year for success into 2026. Because it's not that far away. It's less than 3 months. Got the rest of October, November, December. Probably a good chunk in December really isn't effective. So you're really looking at 2.5 months or so. And now is the time to really think about those skills and how you want to present, because communication is going to help you get to those goals, those, New Year's resolutions, the goals for the next year, the next quarter, fiscal year, however you're structured. You've got to be able to share them. You've got to be able to pin them into an intelligent message. And now's the time to start doing that groundwork. And that's what we're going to be shaping a lot of the work we're doing from now into 2026, so that you're ready for success. Because one of the things that can happen in our endeavors is we can run into things that we're not expecting. Now, when we think of a new year, this is a lot what we like to think about. We like to think of the new year baby and all happy and everything else. And hopefully most of the time he or she is. Most of the time baby new year is represented as a boy. But that's not always the case. Sometimes we end up with chaos baby. And this chaos baby could be out to just ruin your world, ruin your business. And the best way to handle chaos baby is being able to counteract the chaos with clarity. That's all that communication is about. It's about that clarity versus chaos. And you want to always be edging towards that side with clarity, and help to make the chaos baby less effective. And the way you do that is becoming a more effective communicator, so that you're achieving the goals that you set for 2026. You're achieving those desired outcomes. So that's why it's so critical to get started to work on that now and not later. And part of what we're doing is this week we are running a discount memberships on Veteran Communication Coach. It's at the $25 a month or $240 a year. It's usually $35 a month and like $336 a year or something like that. So we're doing that this week. And also for coaching packages that are on chadeves.com, we're doing a 30% reduction on coaching packages for this week. There's terms and conditions that apply. But if you're considering getting a little bit extra coaching, getting that advantage, building up the ability to outperform your peers and rivals, and also to better serve your customers, it's a really good time to take this into account. You're going to get 30% off if you do it this week. And to follow up on that, go to chadeves.com, and then there's a link to schedule a Zoom meeting. We'll talk about what you're looking to do. There'll also be a link for it in various other places online, but chadeves.com is a big place to go to for that. For the membership, it is veterancommunication.coach. You'll see this website here, and then also the first communication package discount. Here's the price differences that I was just mentioning. So it's a pretty substantial price difference, discount, some savings. And then for the coaching, they start at $1,500 for the entry level coaching. And so that's $1,200. It's a savings of $300 for a 3-month 6-session coaching package. That's going to be available till midnight Friday Central Time. So if you got any questions, I think you want to do that, check out those links. Also, you can contact me in a number of different ways. Then, like I said, all these promotions expire at midnight on Friday. Things that we're looking at doing to really get prepared for 2026, because this is not what we want to see. This is not what we want to deal with in 2026. We want to be able to soothe the beast, to be able to communicate with the beast effectively and work with those people, and so that we have a pleasant and happy baby new year and not the chaos baby. So that's some of the stuff that's going on in Veteran Communication Not Coach this week. We had a really good event yesterday with the Chicagoland Veteran Business Owners Association with a live event that we had out at Top Golf in Schaumburg. Got to meet a lot of people. It was a lot of fun, a lot of good discussion. And so if you are a veteran in the Chicagoland area, that's something to consider joining. I'll put some information on that and some of these links here as well. And also be on the front page for, I'll drop on the front page for Veteran Communication Not Coach. You can get the information there. So cool things going on this week. It's going through doing the great things. Sometimes communication is not very exciting, but it's being able to do those boring things very well that might seem boring and unnecessary and hard, that distinguishes average, which is bad, to someone who's good, great, or excellent. Everybody have a good week. See you online.